Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of The Faculty on Delta Television, Asaba, the People's Pride. The Faculty, as always, is one program that brings to your doorstep events as they occur, either in Delta State, in Nigeria, or beyond. And this afternoon, we're saying congratulations. Congratulations to who in particular? To all of us Deltans, and by extension, Nigerians. Special congratulations to His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborevwori, on his victory at the Supreme Court. A lot's been going on since March 18, after the governorship election, which held March 18, 2023. And as part of the much that's been going on is the issue of tribunals, APC and its candidates taking His Excellency and his party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to court. And from one level of judgment to another, the APC and other parties did move to the Supreme Court. And today, being the 19th of January 2024, the judgment at the Supreme Court had been given in favor of His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Orowedo Oborevwori. And that will be the topic for the faculty this afternoon as we look at Governor Sheriff Oborevwori's victory at the Supreme Court. Joining us to discuss this is the #1 communications officer in Delta State. We call him the Mr. No Much because he is an epitome of knowledge, a man who knows so much about governance and what it takes to govern. Well, we're talking about the executive assistant to the Governor of Delta State on orientation and communications, Fred Latimo Ogenesiwe Esquire.
Thank you.
So good to have you, sir.
Yes, you're looking beautiful.
We're celebrating.
It's as if you deliberately dressed in this manner for today's occasion.
Congratulations. So imagine the second panelist. Yes, he's no other than Sonny Ogbedo. So Sonny Ogbedo is a regular feature on the faculty, a man who will tell you exactly the way it is. And so joining us is no other than his humble self. So much to share on this edition of the faculty.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Is the victory of His Excellency Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State at the Supreme Court today. Let's look at the issues that have lingered, that have dragged Delta State to this point, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to this point. Let's hear from you, Executive Assistant.
Thank you very much. Congratulations once again to Deltans. And the victory was foreseeable. It's a victory that we saw coming because of the fasting issue. And in criminal jurisdiction, there is no two ways about it. It is not. It's not gambling, because the principles of criminal jurisprudence is that he that has sat must prove beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay.
And that onus of proof is very fundamental in criminal issues.
Okay.
So going to the tribunal after election is not a civil matter. It's purely a criminal matter, because you are alleging
Yes.
that, oh, results were manipulated. Oh,
Your issues of overvoting.
issues of voting. Those are criminal issues.
Okay.
And for you to win an election like that, you need to have those facts with you, ready.
Okay.
And by virtue of the Constitution and the Electoral Act, there are laid down procedures for assertion. And in terms of testimony, which is evidence, law of evidence,
Yes.
you have to have people who are constitutionally or legally and entitled to that evidence. In the case of election, is the party agents
Okay.
and the INEC officials. Every other person is a spectator, and anything you hear and you act on is known as hearsay as far as the court is concerned. So when the APC came with this allegation that about 133 units in different parts of the state, that the elections were, the figures were falsified, and at the same time that there were no serial numbers in some of these
Yes.
INEC papers. Okay, fine, that's good enough. But proving that, you have to bring the INEC officials as far as those sheets are concerned. Then if the INEC, even people will say that whether there is number or not, we are the one who printed it. We stamped and signed it for the election. That is the end of the matter. Because the serial number itself is not relevant here now. The issuing authority certifying that yes, this emanated for us is what the court needs. You remember the case of this issue of certificates in Edo State, where Governor Baseki had issue with his opponents after he had won the election by the University of Ibadan. That when he came in, the school certificate he had, the credits were not enough for him to have been granted admission, and that even the certificate itself is fake. When they were arguing, I said, well, at the end of the day, the only person that can tell the court that he was qualified as at the time of admission and that the certificate belonged to Obaseki is the University of Lagos, the University of Ibadan. And so when the registrar of the University of Ibadan came to court, say, my lord, as at the time Obaseki applied for admission, that was the requirement for admission.
Okay, why not trying to stop you? It's too early for us to debate.
So what I'm trying to say is that the INEC is the only authority in this matter, and then with the party agents who will now say that this happened at the polling unit or not. Those evidence were not brought to court, and so based on that, the tribunal said you could not prove your case beyond reasonable doubt, and therefore the election, the result that was declared by INEC stands, and that Governor Sheriff Oborevwori is the winner. They went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court told them the same thing. But right at the Court of Appeal, some of them were trying to bring fresh evidence. And as far as the legal system is concerned, the appellate court is not where you present new facts.
Okay.
You don't bring new evidence to the appellate courts. The appellate will only review what the lower court has done.
Okay.
So the Court of Appeal reviewed the tribunal decision and upheld it. Then when they went to Supreme Court, they were still trying to bring new facts again by going to somewhere which is not acceptable at that stage. And at the end of the day, the Supreme Court today now said that the decision made by the tribunal, the decision of the Court of Appeal is pure and clean, and that the governor won. And that even if we have to say, okay, let's remove those issues that they raised, APC raised about form and all that and the figures, if you put them apart at the same time, you still cannot win the election, because the figure has shown that the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, who is now the governor of the state, won 21 local government, where you won 4 local government. And so even if you do all magic,
Yes.
your 4 local government cannot still
Cannot-
qualify you to
yes,
become the governor of
the
Delta
governor
State.
of the state.
So it's a clean judgment.
Thank you for laying this foundation. We'll go quickly to Sesoni Ogbedo, but I would like to quickly read this. It says, the Supreme Court today affirmed the election victory of Governor Sheriff Oboriwori of Delta State. In a unanimous decision of 5-member panel of the Apex Court, dismissed an appeal of the All Progressives Congress APC and its candidate, Senator Ovie Omahege, filed to challenge the outcome of the governorship election held in the state on March 18, 2023. The court, in its lead judgment that was delivered by Justice Inyang Okoro, held that the appeal lacked merit. Now, beyond what the APC has been pushing for, we have other parties, prominent amongst them the Labour Party and its candidate, who have come to challenge the victory of Governor Sheriff Oboriwori. What would you say to this and the developing story?
First of all,
Yeah.
I want to congratulate Deltans, the governor, and all the senior members of PDP.
Okay. When you say senior members,
I know that is we have
The party leadership.
with the party leadership
beautiful.
for their doggedness,
Okay.
for their quietness in this issue. I want to first of all extol the virtues of our governor.
Okay.
It's my childhood friend. We grew together. We have the same godfather, late now,
Okay.
Chief Itini, Austin Itini, Isoko plant. Sheriff is somebody that no matter how you annoy him, he will drive his car to Isoko plant's officer. The next is going to say, yes, yes, yes. The annoyance is gone. But why I'm saying this is that Sheriff is the first governor. It's in Guinness Book of Records today. I want to invite them to Delta State. The first governor has survived almost 12 suits on his track to become a governor of a state. 12 suits. So he can be likened to cats that have 9 lives. And all these ones are from his tribesmen. And they fought without giving a room, without opening a room, a cupboard for settlement. But even as at that, up to today, his doors for settlement is still open for them. Now you can imagine somebody who never campaigned at all. Nobody knew you. He came up overnight, you want to be governor of Delta State, the Labour Party man. And you think you can take influence of Obi, the president, to come and win the election in Delta State? No. Governorship election is a different ballgame. Local government election is a different ballgame. House of Assembly, different. Now, if not for our African attitude and the way we do things, all the House of Assembly elections were upheld. They were held the same day. They went up to appeal court and they lost. The one must even go to Supreme Court, knowing fully well that he won even only 3 local government. Because the other local government won with 1,000 votes. So it's at 3 local government. And even if they go back to that place, if not manipulation, he won't even win sheriff anywhere where he grew up. That place, that election was manipulated there. Sheriff was even to raise alarm. He was the one raising alarm. But you can imagine that Sheriff has that leadership quality. He has been so silent. He has been so quiet. He never replied to anybody. That's exactly the type of leadership we want in Delta State. And all of them that are arguing, the problem, where is their structure? You are contesting for election like the Labour Party man. Where is his structure? How many polling units did he supply polling agents?
That's another point.
I served as a return officer in a ward. And I knew that this election was the freest, the governorship election. No manipulation at all. So when I was going to court, I was asking myself, what are they going to contest for? Or you want to win election or in courts? And that is why I want to have to thank our Supreme Court, our judiciary. I think they have come of age now to correct the wrongs
Of the past.
they've done in the past. And people should now know that, see, election has nothing to do with your party. It has to do with yourself. You were Senate president for complete 2 tenures. What did you attract to Delta State that will require them vote you in? You are coming to contest as a governorship under Labour Party. What have you done in your ward?
Okay, under APC you mean?
The man of even Labour Party, what have you done in your ward?
Okay.
The men they say, let's campaign for this man, let them tell what you have done. It's a small thing. Even the one that even deputy senator, what have you done? How many lives have you touched? Look at the road between Warri to Benin. It's a death trap. Look at the one between Eku to Agbo. It's a death trap. These are federal roads. The only projects you brought, you drop in your own town. What about other constituencies, other wards in your data central?
In other words, you're saying he didn't have the.
It's a selfish ruler.
I
am sorry to say.
2023 elections.
I am sorry to say. So okay. These are the people we judge. And the people have seen it. Even the areas are saying that there are no votes or manipulation. Yeah. They are not saying you own those votes. So even if they cancel the vote, Sheriff is still leading. So common sense will have made you to know that even if I cancel these votes, it's not coming to me. His vote you see 2 times more than my own. So I think the Supreme Court have done the right thing, and Deltans are happy about it. And our slogan for Governor Dukudu, we now move on. Mm-hmm. He has started. Go to Efo and see what is happening now. Go to Warri
and see what is happening.
Yeah, it's on course. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you one thing about this administration. All the awarded contracts by
we'll get into
there's continuity, and that is the more agenda.
Okay, we'll get to that stage. Yes. But look at it. Some of the areas of the All Progressives Congress held on to is the issue of overvoting and non-compliance with electoral laws. Let's take you on those 2 points for now. Yes, he complained of overvoting and non-compliance with electoral laws, whereas the law, the Supreme Court said it held that the APC and its candidates did not prove that the election was not conducted in substantial compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2023.
That's the beauty of that's
yes,
the beauty.
These are very strong statements or strong allegations.
Sure.
As they are. Yes.
See, that judgment is the beauty of the criminal jurisprudence.
Okay.
When you allege, the person that you are calling a criminal is not obliged to even say anything.
Okay.
It is you that will have to labor by yourself anyhow you know you want to go about it. To go and get those facts and prove it by yourself.
Okay.
You get the point? That's what the Supreme Court just said. That it lacks merit because all your allegations, you could not substantiate them. That onus of proof is very key. Now, look at something here. Mm-hmm. The issue of overvoting is very easy to now handle in the electoral system. How do I say so? Why do I say so? In a polling unit, you have the party agents. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have all the party agents, Labour Party, PDP, APC, all the agents are there. Mm-hmm. Then people will now cast their vote. You get it? Mm-hmm. Now, after casting, box by box, because I sat there in my unit from morning till night, I didn't leave there. I escorted my result to
exactly, just as some other Deltans waited
yes,
at their polling
we waited.
Yes.
They will now pour the thing on the ground.
Okay.
Everybody is there, all the agent is there. When they open it, the Tom Pretty, you increase there. If it's for PDP, PDP. If it's for APC, APC. If it's for Labour. That's how every will be collated there. Then we'll not do the counting.
Yes.
Party by party. Then you record it. As we are doing this, all the agents are there. Then you record. After recording, you will now know the winner. The party agents will now sign one by one. Every party agent will sign. Then the INEC man there will now give us copy. Mm-hmm. Copy to APC, copy to PDP, and a copy to Labour Party. That's the way it is done. Now, if you say overvoting in a result sheet that your agent has already signed,
yes.
How do you now prove the overvoting? If, for example, this place a unit, DPS studio unit, and we came here to vote, and after voting we counted it, and then the agent, maybe you are the agent of DBS, I'm the agent of government house, this is the agent of the people of a Delta State, and all of us have now signed that result, and we have our sheet. And tomorrow, somebody goes to court and say there was overvoting in that unit. How do you now prove it? So that is why it's not difficult for those who are certain there's an overvoting to prove it. Okay? The only way they can make a leeway is a situation where result sheets were taken by certain people and they disappear with it. And they come back again, signed. But that does not work again. Because once it's not signed there at the polling unit and everybody gets their copy there, that result will be cancelled.
Okay.
So that is why the onus of proof, as far as overvoting is concerned, is now becoming difficult for lazy aspirants or candidates to now prove. Now, Omo Agege and the APC, they were capitalizing on the federal might.
Right, exactly.
That because I'm the Senate President of Nigeria and my party is the party at the top, let me look for technicalities and loophole in the election so that I can send that to Mr. President. Mr. President cannot help me at the judiciary and then I'll be now declared winner. But that equation did not work. You get it? So the issue of technicality is not becoming a thing of the past because the judiciary didn't do well in certain time, in the time past, as far as technicality is concerned. And the National Judicial Council and the Chief Judge of the Federation, they called a meeting and said, no, we cannot gamble with democracy in our country. This issue of manual technicality should not destroy our democracy because politics is a game of numbers. Election is a game of numbers. And so, if a cripple, the people of a state or a local government or the national level decide to vote for a cripple, a man who cannot even walk, that is their decision.
So be it.
And that decision must be sacrosanct. And that is what they agreed. And that is what is playing out now. So the likes of Senator Agege, who were looking for technicalities, did not succeed. One of the judgments recently, they were arguing it. And the judge at the Supreme Court was asked that young man, say, are you now saying that because of this your technicality you are trying to bring now, a man who defeated you with over 28,000 votes should be removed, then you now come in with this technicality? Is that what you are saying? You get the point?
Yeah.
So that's to tell you that the Supreme Court and the system is ready. But we still have a problem.
Okay.
We still have a problem with the Court of Appeal in some of their judgments.
Okay.
Because some of the judgments say they were interfering into party politics. And the Supreme Court in recent judgment have said that some of the decisions made by the Court of Appeal are wrong. The issue of membership of party, the issue of whether somebody is qualified to run for election on the platform of a party is not the matter for the courts. It's a matter for the political party. If the party says this is our candidate, so be it. Whether the person came to the party 2 days to that election, he came 1 hour to the election.
But that is their candidate.
That is their candidate.
Okay.
But that thing affected a lot of people recently.
Yeah.
They were thrown out because they say that the time he came to join the party, he was not he didn't meet with the requirement of the Electoral Act. And whereas Electoral Act is subject to the Constitution, the Constitution is the ground norm. Okay? And so any law that is consistent with the Constitution is, to that extent, is consistent. So what the court is saying is that the provisions of the Constitution did not say that somebody must join the political party 30 days to the election.
Okay.
And so if INEC now create that lacuna in the legal system, it should be discarded because the INEC rules or regulations or their laws cannot be superior to the provisions of the Constitution.
No, but in the case of Lawa, Senator Lawa, and the case of Akpabio, the Supreme Court held that the issue of candidacy lies on the party. If the party comes to say, we sponsored this man, that is the bona fide candidate.
That's what the Supreme Court is saying.
Yes, not to you to come to say, by the time the party submitted their names, his name was not there.
Had passed. Okay.
There could be typographical error. As I'm not particular, maybe he didn't even prepare to run for an election, or the party was still searching. Like what happened in Tinubu's case, he picked a vice president was on hold before he finally took Shettima. And that is the party's decision with him, and it was upheld.
Okay, so let's look at it. The next step here, because we're following it issue by issue, the way the judgment was passed. It says the court dismissed Omo Agege's contention that some of the result sheets that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, relied upon to declare Oborewori as the winner of the election did not have serial numbers. Yeah, he went on to say, according to the court, even if the total number of INEC forms that the appellants complained about are removed, it will still not affect the margin of lead that was in Oborewori's favor.
You know what the hard problem? It's not a question of having money. I want to contest an election.
Okay.
It's about you following the electoral guideline. All the political parties nominated people for training. INEC trained political parties. And they were shown how these papers will look like. And they told you you're right as a polling agent. You have your right. So if you know that these papers don't have serial number, from the moment the voting was counted, reject that paper, don't sign.
Okay.
But if INEC brings the one without serial number, I will all agree with them and signed, and they countersign, it becomes a valid document. Was INEC stamp is there with date, with signature of the INEC official. But if the party say no, they walk away because no serial number, they will not wait there for you to go and get the one with a serial number.
So if these were put in place, where did all of these arguments come from?
Yeah, you see, like what my co-panelist said, they were depending on federal might.
Okay.
By the time we argue this one, but that's why I want to thank Mr. President, because you and I know that before now, his name has been on the baking table. The last election, Buhari said, I don't have money to contest. And based on that, the man had to bring out his bullion van to support his election. So when the economy fell, security went into disarray, everybody was blaming Tinubu. Even his election, people thought he's going to hijack it with money. So he had decided that everybody, the way you run your election, follow it to the end. And for crying out loud, during primaries, who did they hire Omagege support? He supported Lawan for president. And the scam failed. How does he now think that the president will be so stupid to come and now overturn the election? Do you know Delta State is a boiling point of this country? Let's say 50,000 people say we voted for this person, and you turn it, and the 50,000 becomes lawless. What will become of the economy of Nigeria? We are the highest economic contributor to our nation. And then you upturn what the people say, this is what we want. You will create lawlessness. And the economy will fall. So even the court knows. Look at the rally in Kano before the Kano judgment. It's a no that the people have spoken. So what do you even want the Supreme Court to do? How can you use technicality in such cases? You have to take it the way it is. So I have to thank Mr. President for saying neutral in all these cases. But even during his own, nobody fought for him. Everybody was also neutral. So for Oborewori to be announced by Supreme Court is something the people have already spoken. They only have found the decision of Deltas.
Okay.
Let me also add something there.
Okay then.
You know, there's a clause in that
Judgment.
yes, what you just read out to us. Say even if read it.
It says that the court dismissed. That's it here. This paragraph says, according to the court, even if the total number of INEC forms that the appellants complained about are removed, it would still not affect the margin of lead that was in Oborewori's favor.
So note even if.
Okay.
And the court did not remove it.
Okay.
Even if, but they did not remove it. The Supreme Court did not remove it. The Court of Appeal did not remove it. Why? Because the issuing authority is very powerful. See, in this DBS, you will have your letter-headed paper. But if you can give me a letter to anywhere, just take a plain sheet and just stamp it and just say, please admit Barrister Latimo, General Manager. You just sign it and you give it to me. It's lawful.
Yes.
Forget that letter-headed logo. It's not required any longer. That is what this judgment is telling you. That even if that serial number is there and you have the INEC stamp and all the passes signed, like he said, it's a valid document. But what happened to the legal team of the APC, of the Labour Party, of the SDP? What happened to the legal team? Is there no lawyer in their team? They all paraded senior advocates. Is there no lawyer in their team to tell them that, look, whether serial number or no serial number, that the stamp of INEC is there and the parties have signed that this document is valid? Is there nobody to tell?
Big question.
So the issue here is this. In Nigeria, I think we have to have a new mindset towards, elections, particularly post-election. Because the way we see it today, people just go to court to want to become popular to the Nigerian people through the back door. You get the point? You didn't win a local government. You went to tribunal to a court of appeal to Supreme Court. Do you know how much that will take you? We are talking about hundreds of millions of naira. That even if you give half of that to members of your constituency, they will remember you for life. You decided to go and give that money to people who are already billionaires to get richer. All the senior advocates, they are all billionaires. Majority of them are billionaires. So why did you now? I was the one who called Chief Baggy when our principal won the election. As we were jubilating, I remembered. I said, no, Baggy is a founding member of our party. And we are close. I called him on the phone. I said, Logo, Latimo, how are you? I said, I'm fine, sir. I said, why don't you congratulate the winner? I said, because it's clear that you didn't do well. Even your campaign, it was 40. He said, Latimo, I know I will not win, but I must go to court. That's what he told me. I'm quoting him. He said, I know I will not win, but I'll go to court. I was shocked.
So why go to court?
Why go to court?
Money is just like
just waste so much money, billions of naira. For what?
The previous court judgment, the court gave them 5 million, 10 million to pay for wasting the time of the court.
Okay.
I think this time around, they should be given 100 million to pay.
They can afford it, don't you think so?
Let them afford, so that you lose more. When you check that what money to do for you, calculate the election, forget about it.
Ikie suffered that fate.
Yes.
One Ikie, a member of the PDP who is based in London, that the other associates were using to press charges for us. Like he said, we had almost about 18 cases
against one man. And he won all. And
in one of the cases, the court slammed about 15 million on him. I said, go and pay this money
to the man.
The article of Zekome or one of these senior advocates also suffered that fate.
Yes, he suffered it.
At the Supreme Court. So you know that this case is frivolous and it's not good.
And you want it towards the time.
It's lack merit. At your level,
pay this.
You enter this one, pay this.
Okay, now that we are here, we seem to, or Nigerians, especially Deltans, seem to remember that of Ovioma Agege of the APC, while the SDP and its candidates, Kenneth Baggy, and the Labour Party, Ken Pella, seem to be quiet. Why has it been like this? Whereas these other two candidates have been pushing to get to the Supreme Court. Why has it been like this?
They must be quiet.
Because he mentioned that some of these parties they don't have structures on ground. So why would you think they would push to that extent?
They went to court just to make the name.
Oh.
They didn't go to court to win. How can somebody who did not win a local government say you are you are going to court against a man who won 21 local government? You know in your subconscious that you are just trying to push to make a name.
Just pushing to make a name. How does that help our democracy, sir?
That makes it unhealthy, because we want a situation where if you lose an election, you should be the first to congratulate the candidate that won for winning.
It happened with Bayelsa recently.
Yes, you congratulate the candidate. You know you lost, but you want to get out of shame to tell people, I was rigged out. Failing an election, there's no shame in it. But Africans, even in football, when we lose,
they say the referee was
partial. Even that penalty, even they passed juju in their local. There's one bet that flew when they were playing. Yes. That bet came to Wiki now.
So is it an African thing?
Like, I want to give you an example. It's an African thing. Like yesterday, they were playing Cup of Nations. Yes. They had a water break. If Nigerians had lost, we would have said they changed our water and gave us the one who will be weak and make mistakes. So they must look for one thing.
There's always one accusation.
Yeah, to cling on as a cause of their failure. But a white man, by now, we have gone on research.
Okay.
Why did I fail? What was the cause? What will I do not to fail next time? He will have been researching and be working on reasons why.
So I even look at this Republican candidates
Yes.
in this in the Iowa storm.
Yes.
After he came forth, he announced withdrawal from the campaign.
That's it.
But if it's an African man, oh my gosh, he will
Let
push.
us drag it and see the end.
Okay. Now.
But I want to say one
okay.
thing. We are all politicians. There's one thing about rigging, which I want Nigerians to know today.
Okay.
It's only a popular candidate that can rig in a particular polling unit. If you're not accepted in Latimore's village, and Latimore is for PDP and I'm for APC, and I want to rig to APC in Latimore village, I will be lynched.
That's gotten to that.
Yes. You can't rig where you have opposition. You rig where you are popular.
Okay.
And every politician goes with an atom of 1% rigging or the other. So when you are to rig, you rig to where you are popular. So for you to rig and win, that means you are more popular than though you rigged out. If not, it wouldn't have happened.
But I must say that I'm
But
not familiar with this rigging techniques.
Okay.
Yes.
But as far as the 2023 election is concerned, I must point out and let us know that Governor Boribori is the first person in our electoral system here who decided to campaign from ward to ward,
Village to village.
Yeah.
village to village, local government to local government, house to house. It was a mandate for the party, and we pursued it to a logical conclusion. And when you look at the video clips of our campaigns, they are so colorful. You see all manners of people.
Massive turnout of people.
The young, the old, the good, the bad, the ugly, everybody gathered. Sherify, all over the place.
Okay.
But let's look at the video clips of other parties when they want to show them on TV.
Once in a while.
You see, they just go and cut one small corner where some 5 party people, and then they just mention it, and then the video, the news is
merge it
over.
with something
The news is over.
else.
But they keep stretching our video
Okay.
because you even like the colors that you see. Because they came to a campaign with multiple colors. You see some ladies on blue, some on yellow, some on white, some on green, and it's like our campaign was
It was celebration
a
for
carnival.
the
It was like a carnival.
days of
PDP was
Yes.
in Delta City.
And it was glaring.
Okay, so now that
It
we
was
are
glaring.
here, the Apex
Yeah.
Court has given its verdict. What would you say to the governor of Delta State and the people of the state?
I say to Governor of Delta State, remain who you are.
Okay.
You are a governor who said you are governor for all Deltas. That I know you will do.
Okay.
Now be a governor for PDP, be governor for Labour, be governor for APC, be governor for APGA, be governor for all the political parties, and be the father of the state. Now I know today when he is going to address the press, he will still invite these our brothers to come and join hands with him, to implement the MOA agenda. The MOA agenda has a lot for the state. And if Omagagi truly love this state, and Bagi love this state, and Kemperas love this state the way they claim to be, let them join hands with the governor to take data to the next level.
Okay. He just spoke 2 in 1. What would be your message to the governor of
My
Delta
message to the
State,
governor
the
that,
people, and to the opponents,
My
those who've
message
been dragging
to
him
the
to
governor
court?
is that he should
Yeah.
remain who he is.
Okay.
He has been an accommodating person. He's somebody who is tribalized. He should continue what he's doing. He should remain focused and deliver that dividend to democracy of why Deltans loved him. He should love them back.
He should love Deltans back
He
the
should
way they
return
have
the love
loved
the way they
him.
loved him.
In terms
And he has started. That he should continue with the speed he has started.
in terms of development. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah.
You should love them back in terms of
In terms of
development, in
development.
terms of the social contract
Yes.
that he has with the
That he
people.
has with the people.
Now, the Nigerian judiciary in the past has been so much accused of partial judgments and wrong judgments. With these few judgments at the Supreme Court we've seen in the past 2 weeks, what would you say of the judiciary?
Well, they've woken up.
They've woken up.
Yeah, they've taken up the bull by the horn. They are an integral part of the political system development. And our democracy cannot advance without the mega input of the judiciary. Because that is where the mischievous, lazy candidates go to. Looking for...
You see, use the word lazy.
Lazy because...
Okay.
Lazy because if you didn't win a local government,
Okay.
and you want to claim victory, it's disheartening. It doesn't really tally. For example, now, if you and I contest an election and you score 360,000 votes, and I scored 310,000 votes, and I go to court, there is something there. A reasonable one will say, yes, they are close. 360 to 310. I think it's close. But when it is 360,000 votes to maybe 100 votes or 300 votes or even 1,000 votes put together, and then somebody scored 360, and you say you want to take the victory from that person, something's wrong. And why did you fail to win a local government? It's lazy. Because political campaign is about hard work. It's your planning and execution of your plan and selling your manifesto to the people, connecting with the people, talking to people to believe in you, and the people truly believe in you. That is when they will go with you. But if you did not print, you don't have a manifesto. Like my brother Kempela does not have a manifesto.
No manifesto.
Dagi does not have a manifesto.
He didn't even win his word.
Omar Gege's manifesto came 2 weeks to the election, where they knew we had a more agenda. So these are lazy plans. If you don't plan, you
are planned to fail.
You are planned to fail. So that's why I call them lazy people. And why is Oborevori hardworking? Because he had less than 3 hours sleeps a day for nearly 2 years. I was with him. Sometimes he would just stay on a chair and just doze for like 40 minutes. He wakes up, wash his face, take his bath, take tea, maybe coffee, and we are back. We are working again. That's hard work. Okay. So hard work pays. Hard work does not kill, but laziness can kill. Because if you are not hardworking, food will not be available. And when there is no food, you will die.
All right, Chief Ogbedo, he just said the judiciary has woken up.
Yeah.
What will be your take on that?
Yes, I think they really know that they have to do the needful to Nigerians. All this while, although I know that when some people fail, they will say this and that. Like we are PDP people. But we applauded the judiciary on Lagos State election.
Okay.
Knowing fully well that you can win Lagos State on presidential election. You can't win them on governorship election. You can't win APC on governorship election. The same thing with Delta State. Okay. Even the presidential election that Labour Party won on a slight margin. PDP was second on a very wide margin to APC. I don't know where they think they would have come up now when the election is now one-on-one between two of them to come and win PDP. It's unheard of. So I think the judiciary are now doing the needful. And we pray that they should continue.
All right, the judiciary has woken up, in the words of the executive assistant on orientation and communications to the governor of Delta State, Fred Latimer Ogenesiwe Esquire. And in the words of Chief Sonny Ogbedo, the judiciary is up to their responsibility now and it should continue. So much for the victory of Governor Sheriff Oborevori at the Supreme Court. Thank you for joining in this beautiful conversation. And once again, we'll say congratulations to the governor of Delta State, Governor Sheriff Francis Orowedo Oborevori, on this beautiful victory. Yes, it's been a beautiful ride on the faculty. And then we want to say a big thank you to you for joining us, Fred Latimer Ogenesiwe Esquire.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Chief Sonny Ogbedo, thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having
and
us.
Congratulations to all of you.
Oh,
sure.
To all Deltans, we say
Today is celebration gala throughout.
celebration.
This weekend, all through is celebration.
Congratulations to Deltans and by extension to Nigerians, particularly to the judiciary. Well, what a beautiful moment right here on Mame Iyaro is my name. I've been your host. Let's do this again next week as we resume a brand new week. On behalf of everyone who's made it thick, we say thank you and have a beautiful weekend.